no better way to send them off the right way and to honor them with our effort.
For the CAA's leading scorer, Sadler. Wow. No look pass to Higgins. Bonds for three. Not going to happen. Delaware wins it on Senior Day.
.37 to play here in the first half. Semifinal number 2 from the Richmond Coliseum in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Alongside Ron Thompson, Mike Corey, Todd Harris, glad to have you with us. Northeastern has already punched their ticket into the CAA championship game tomorrow night here in Richmond. One of these two teams will join them for the right to move on to the NCAA tournament.
Todd, Delaware's had really sloppy play this half. That right there was their 11th turnover. And to have 11 turnovers and only be down 2, they have to feel pretty solid about that. But they're going to have to clean up their offensive efficiency.
Motion offense coming, and young man who's been on fire, Ron Curry, unable to hit on that three. Playing days at Georgetown or coaching at Ball State, Oregon State, wherever have you, you've probably seen a lot of very young athletic teams as Anderson hits one. How do you counteract the smaller, I don't say that the faster players when you have bigger kids?
Well, usually you try to get the ball to half court and then go inside. And that's why you see Brinkley with a lot of success. Also, you can't try to match their speed, you know, if you don't have it. They just have to slow down, protect the ball, and get back as you see more drive to the basket and finish.
Devon Moore with a beautiful drive, switches off to his left hand and gets it to drop, and playing inspired ball, as he told you earlier in this half. His mother Carol home battling brain cancer, and we wish her nothing but the best, and her son is doing his job tonight for the Dukes. Savage, that's a two-pointer off the rim. Nation with the rebound. You talk about trying to keep your identity. Delaware obviously not a small, fast team, but when you play a team like that, it seems like there's a tendency to get sucked into playing their style or try to match what they're doing.
And that's where you have to really grit your teeth and stay disciplined to play your style of basketball. And credit JMU, they've totally changed how they're playing. The sets that they're running now, totally different from the sets they were running early in the year. Matt Brady has found a system for the guys that he currently has, and this guy right here is taking full advantage of this new system.
Devon Sadler's bodying him up, and dare I say Sadler probably has 15 to 20 pounds on him, and he just has no answer.
Well, Moore is so much taller than most of the guys. At 6'4" at that point guard position, he's up above most of his defenders.
Anderson picks it off. Higgins underneath, gets contact. He was too far under the glass, but gets it back again. He goes up strong and puts it in. And that is exactly goes to your point of where Delaware has that advantage. The bigs and banging down below in the glass, that is certainly going to favor the Blue Hens.
Well, JMU's going to be scrappy because they have to be because of the lack of size. Now, if Delaware mentally can get that in their head and just slow down a bit, be a little bit more aggressive with the ball, they can throw it down on the inside all night.
And I know from a coach's perspective, you've been there before. These are 18 and 19-year-olds that you're trying to get to settle down and calm down.
And that's the hard thing as a coach. You know, you go over scouting reports, you tell the guys over and over, but when the game gets started, the energy just gets going.
I want to remind you, coming up at halftime, Liam McHugh and Donnie Marshall are in our college basketball studio. They'll take you through Northeastern's huge comeback earlier today and the Indiana-Michigan Big Ten showdown. We'll have all that coming up at the half.
Donnie Marshall in the studio.
I know.
That's pretty strong. He had a nice game himself as UConn.
I wonder how they're getting along because, you know, Liam spent a little time up at Syracuse, and Donnie's a UConn guy.
Look, you got UConn and Syracuse in the studio. You got the Hoyas right here doing play-by-play. This is NBC making some great decisions.
31 seconds now remaining in the half. It's 25-27. JMU has the lead. Delaware will play for the final shot, putting the ball into the CAA's leading scorer in Devon Sadler. Sadler with Andre Nation, the freshman, guarding him. Remember, they started the game off Nation blocking Sadler's three-point attempt. Sadler goes to the left, gets a good look, rims out, and with 5 seconds left, Moore's going to push it. And Curry on the trail is going to go to the line. 3.8 seconds to play in the half, and once again, Devon Moore on the defensive end, triggering offense.
Todd, Devon Moore's confidence is just rising and rising. Right here, he pushes it. He sees Anderson coming, accelerates, slows down just a bit just to make the pass, to put them in a situation to be at their free throw line. His comfort level at running this ball club is extremely, extremely high.
So Curry with one more, 3.8 seconds. Monte Ross telling his kids what he wants, and immediately he takes a timeout. Can't be happy with that change. They had the ball, only down by 2 with a chance to tie it at the half, and now they find themselves down by 4 with 3.8 seconds. All right, I know you love drawing stuff up in the sand. Give me something special.
Well, you know what the special thing is? Try to get it to Sadler and get out the way. You know, they're going to try to give it to him as deep as he can. They're going to try to give it to him on the move, I would imagine, going towards half court and see what his chances are at throwing up a long one. Sadler or a guy like Jarvis 3.
Well, we saw it in the first game with the struggling of talented players from Northeastern unable to get on, but Sadler 0 for 8, just 1 point here in the first half. This is a young man that's averaging over 20 points a game, and the Dukes have done a great job keeping him to 1.
But you can't let off the gas in terms of the defensive intensity that you give him, because he's been in this situation before. It is nothing for him to get 20 points in a half.
Kicks it off. Anderson's going to have to hurry. Gets it up. And just off the rim, a well-designed play by Monte Ross and his Blue Hens. But Anderson unable to hit the 3. So it's a 29-25 halftime lead for the 3 seed. The Dukes leading the 2 seed, Delaware Blue Hens, as we check in with Mike Corey.
All right, thanks very much, Todd. Coach, first half, low-scoring affair. You've held Devon Sadler to 1 point for Delaware. Talk about how your defense has done in this first half.
Well, I thought our defense was fine. I thought we had some turnovers that led to a couple of their baskets there, especially in the last 4 or 5 minutes of the half. Our defensive Sadler was good. He's a great player. Hard to contain him for like that for 2 halves. So we're going to have to make sure that we hold everybody else kind of in harm's way. The other guy that we defended pretty well was Jarvis 3, who's a terrific player.
Balanced effort by you guys. What has to happen in the second half for you to come away with a win?
Well, we got to take better care of the basketball. And then when we get out, when we get defensive rebounds, we got to try and push in transition. And then we got to keep guarding their ball screens and keep guarding those guards on the perimeter because they are so talented.
Coach, appreciate it. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Todd?
Thank you, Mike. 29-25, James Madison on top of Delaware. Right now, we send you to our college basketball halftime studio. State cap. Welcome back to historic Richmond, Virginia, the Commonwealth, home for the CAA basketball tournament here on a beautiful Sunday afternoon as we take a look at our first half stats with the Dukes leading 29-25.
Todd, if you're Monte Ross, during that halftime segment, you talk to your guys about this category right here. That's far too much. Because they had difficulty in their half-court sets, it inadvertently affected right there on the offensive end, only 27% from the floor, and they have to do a much better job. You see right there, Higgins, bad pass out of the double team, Sadler careless with the cross-court pass right there, and then here, just senseless. You got to go meet that ball with two hands, and they have to do a much better job at taking care of the ball so that they can get things going in the second half. And that guy right there, Devon Sadler, they have to find a way to get him going, get him in a rhythm.
No question about it. Credit to Matt Brady, his 5th year as the head coach at James Madison, doing a great job of scouting Delaware, because a lot of those turnovers were created because guys were in the right place and read the offensive set that the Blue Hens were trying to accomplish. So here we go, second half of play. Goins goes right at Higgins, undersized by a few inches, and he hits the first shot of the second half. His first bucket of the night as we check in with Mike Corey.
All right, thanks, Todd. And yeah, to add on what you were saying, Ron, offensively, Monte Ross just talked to him, just said they need to move the ball much better. Defensively, he thought that they were fine, but he's more concerned on the offensive end of getting better ball rotation.
And that's going to help. Thank you, Mike, as Jarvis Threed has checked into the game. Remember, he was saddled with 2 quick fouls early in the game, and that really changed things, putting the point guard responsibilities on the shoulder of Devon Sadler.
If I'm JMU, I go right back inside to Rashawn Goins. The last possession, yes, that's what they're doing now. He's clearing everyone out. He just measured Higgins the last possession and shot over.
Goins and the leading defensive player in the CAA, Defensive Player of the Year, in Jamel Higgins, and easier said than done as JMU nursing a 6-point lead, largest of the game. Nation hung up, gets the bump from Kyle Anderson in the lane. Well, beginning Thursday at noon, the NBC Sports Network launches the Atlantic 10 Men's Basketball Tournament with the entire first round in one day. Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Coverage begins Thursday at noon right here on the NBC Sports Network. Office productivity is probably going to be an all-time low coming up this weekend with Selection Sunday. We talked in the first half about when you were playing at Georgetown and then in your career as a coach, what it was like to travel. But I imagine in your days playing at Georgetown with your dad, when that crew came to any part of the country, it was kind of like the show has come to town.
It really was, you know, just in terms of the energy you got going through the airports, or once you got to your hotel, the amount of people that were there, and the reception wasn't always good, you know, because we were the team that you loved to hate, but either way, you know, that time of year, the energy was just so electric.
And how about your brother John Thompson III doing a heck of a job? Huge win yesterday over Syracuse.
So proud of the job he's done this year. They started the Big East season ranked around, picked to be finished 6th or 7th. I think this is one of his best coaching jobs he's done since he's been at Georgetown.
They get a share of the Big East title alongside Marquette, and won't lament the changes that are coming because of TV money and football restructuring, but it's sad to see that Big East. I think my calendar was always the Big East tournament in Madison Square Garden. That was appointment TV view you had to see.
Well, you know, times change, you know, and a lot of people are going up. I can't believe you're breaking up the Big East, but you know, in this day and time with television, with the internet, I think kids just want to play quality ball against quality opponents and get seen, and they're going to have that opportunity, and the competition is still going to be extremely high.
CAA has one bid on the line, and we'll decide that tomorrow night, 7 o'clock here on the NBC Sports Network. Will it be Northeastern or one of these teams? They're marching their way into the madness. It'll be interesting, but so much parity in the CAA this year, and got to give credit to so many talented coaches like Matt Brady and Monte Ross and Coach Cohen, and we just saw earlier his squad down 24 points, and they come back to get the 2-point win over George Mason and Paul Hewitt. Jarvis Threed has been in the ball game, but really has not been affecting the ball game as much, and Right there, another turnover. Goes the way of the Dukes. They got a 3-on-1. Send it up!
Great job, I thought, that time by A.J. Davis at giving the ball up early. He blew out, took 2 quick dribbles, but he gave it up to make the defense go towards the ball, which opened him up for that wide open lob.
Not 1, but 2 highlight dunks on the day for A.J. Davis. How about this? How defense gets it over to offense.
Good job. A good defensive stop, as you touched on, and then they're off to the races. A.J. Davis gets it, but watch here. He gives it up to make the defense react to the ball, and then he gets the lob. Credit JMU for their offensive transition off of the steal. 35-25 JMU.
Ten-point lead for the number 3 seed. This was the game earlier today in semifinal number 1. They were down 31-7, and the Northeastern Huskies came storming back. Last possession for the Patriots, couldn't get it done, and they put it in the hands of the co-captain, Jonathan Lee, with the left. So Northeastern is into the championship game tomorrow night. We've got ourselves a 10-point lead here for JMU on top of Delaware. And Delaware just has not been able to basically impose their will and their big men on the smaller but much more athletic James Madison Dukes.
And I think you got to give an awful lot of credit to the job Matt Brady has done at late in the season reconstructing this ball club within the group of guys that he's had. He's changed the style of play. He's gone small. They're showing more energy and athleticism in their full-court defenses. They're playing at a faster pace as 3 picks the pocket of Nation at the top.
The Nation comes back and strips it away. So a great job by the freshman to not say, you know what, I got my pick pocket, let him just go ahead and take it. He comes back and makes a tremendous defensive play.
Watch this. As a coach, you always want to know, you're going to make mistakes, but you want to know how you react from those mistakes. And credit Nation, as you touched on, at getting up off the floor, sprinting his tail back and getting the block.
Right now, Monte Ross trying to figure out how to get this young man going, and that's a nice start as Sadler goes crashing into the cheerleader section of the Blue Hens. So it's numbers for the Dukes. Goins mishandles the interior pass. He kicks it out to Cook. You know what? I like the fact that they give him confidence, but I don't think there's any way Goins can get the better of Higgins on multiple turns, because we're talking about the conference defensive player of the year.
Especially how these officials have called this game on the interior. That could have, in most games, officials would have called a foul, but they're letting those guys play, so Goins has to make an adjustment.
Baptiste cleaning up on the offensive end. Down to a 6-point lead. See the respect that Moore gets. He started driving on the right-hand side, and 3 jerseys quickly converged on him. 15-23 to play in this ball game, and the Dukes of JMU have a 6-point lead. Welcome back to NBC Sports Network's coverage of the CAA tournament presented by Janny King. On a beautiful day here in the Commonwealth, the capital city of Richmond, we've got ourselves a good one, 35-29, JMU on top of Delaware as we check in with Mike Corey.
All right, Todd, thanks very much. Every coach had something to say in that last huddle for Delaware, just a variety of different things. Just saying that they needed energy the entire time. They feel like they're starting to get back into it. Offensive rebounding a big key, among other things, for them in that last timeout.
All right, thank you very much. Coming up on 15 minutes to play in this low-scoring affair, JMU pushing the pace, and Delaware just unable to get themselves in an offensive rhythm. 3 with the rebound. As you pointed out, Ron, they're letting them play. Wow. Higgins with his second big dunk of the game. Now, like you, if I was Delaware, I'd go back to Higgins again and again. You were saying go back to Goins again and again. I'm saying go with Higgins, as Delaware is now on a 6-0 run.
Well, certainly Higgins has the size advantage. He has the leaping advantage over just about all the bigs on the court for JMU.
Baptiste. Sadler looking. Remember, he is the leading scorer in the conference now, just with 3 points. Turns, fires off the mark. Shot clock down to 12. Good matchup here. Oh, beautiful dish. Fake it once, bring it back, and then give it to the big man. Highlights continue to come from the Dukes. Devon Moore with a beautiful assist.